I'm WWIIBeast, and you know Walking Tall 202, and we're going to review a Quentin Tarantino film today, Inglourious Basterds. Now, this movie was set in World War II, and if you couldn't tell already from my name, I probably know a lot about the subject. So, let me just start by saying, Quentin Tarantino has put the settings and the attitudes of the characters for this era very well. He's hit them dead on, and I say the characters that are in the film certainly match the time period. Another thing I want to say about this is that for an event that didn't happen during this conflict, Quentin Tarantino pulled it off very well, taking factual evidence from the era and putting it into the movie to make it seem like it could happen.
I have to agree, because I've seen Quentin Tarantino's work like Kill Bill 1 and 2. I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction yet, but I plan on seeing them. And one thing that he does very well is getting the characters in depth. One character, for example, is Hans Lander, who in the film is the Jew hunter. And he does an amazing job portraying a Nazi, especially one that's as corrupt as he is.
He's just got that wicked, slimy attitude.
Yeah, and he...
No offense to Germans out there.
Yeah. He actually... This is a spoiler. If you want to see the film, see it. If you want to hear what we have to say, then okay.
If you don't like what we're saying, just turn your camera...
Yeah,
just
post
turn
your comments.
off.
Okay, and when we're done, we'll go like this to let you know that it's over. And what he actually did, he actually killed this girl's entire family, and then when she was running, he had a chance to shoot her, but he didn't. And then later on in the film, you actually see the two meet in this like coffee shop, and she's there with like this douche of a hero in World War II. No offense.
He was German. I don't...
Again, no offense to Germans. And, my family's part German.
So am I.
Yeah, and so... And one part in the film where he's sitting across from the girl that he doesn't recognize because she's grown, and
she's not covered in dirt and grime.
Yeah, and just that fear that Quentin Tarantino implies is just great. So, that ends that.
We've got another spoiler coming up, so just letting you all know right now.
Okay, so...
Start with stuff we didn't like.
Yeah.
Two major things that I wanted to hit on, actually three, is the knife scene with the swastika carved in the forehead. The trailers make a huge hype out of that, don't they? It's like one of the it's the biggest thing you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, this part of the movie actually happens very fast, and they only do it twice. You only see it happen once, and they barely mention it at all. So I think if they're going to show this big thing in the trailer, and then completely
live
blow
up
it all,
to it.
they should live up to it. The second thing I had a problem with is the utter lack of action. I mean, no offense to Quentin Tarantino, he can pull off an amazing movie.
He delivered when it came to the action parts, but it wasn't like Kill Bill where it's just non-stop adrenaline.
Most of it was just establishing dialogue, and when 90% of your movie is establishing dialogue, it stops being establishing and starts becoming annoying.
Yeah. But the suspense kind of outweighed the action in some parts.
You could feel when it was coming.
Yeah, that's the suspense. And, I like that. And what was the other thing that you didn't like? Because you said there was
the other thing was, and you're probably going to agree with me here, is that there were a whole flurry of languages said in the entire movie. Subtitles dominated the screen. There was a lot of German. Believe there was French. Wasn't there some French?
Yeah.
There was some in the beginning. And, you know, I'd say the majority of the language they used in that movie was probably German, despite it's an American movie. So that was one of my larger problems, is the fact that he neglected using English most of the time, and instead used German, relying on subtitles.
I have to agree, because that's most of the film, but yeah, it delivers with action, but I think that most of it is suspense. And one of the parts that I didn't like was that in the trailer they included where Brad Pitt said yes, 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 number of times, and then it didn't show it in the movie.
In the trailer following the scene where Hitler goes 999999, which is German for no. The fact that they didn't include.
I don't know if they showed it in the deleted scenes. Heck, I don't even know if there were deleted scenes because I never checked out the special features on the DVD. But they never showed it, and I was like, what?
If they're gonna put something like that in a trailer, they should live up to it.
But some films actually do that, but I don't know why. But
I remember seeing Stuart Little when they did that.
And so, what were some parts that you did really like?
The stuff I did really like, I'm going to say this right now, my absolute favorite part was the introduction of all the people on the team when they're sitting in the drainage pipe in the forest.
Maybe you should spoil it.
Alright, this is a spoiler, I guess. I'm not going to say too much. It's just going through all the characters that are in Aldo Rain's little posse of Nazi killers, and it just goes through what all of them did to show that they could do it. I just thought that was amazing how they went flashback through the entire thing and showed how everyone got in this team.
And continuing on with this kind of spoiler was that when the Bear Jew came out, he completely obliterated this guy with a baseball bat. He actually says, "Did you get that medal for killing Jews?" And he says, "No, I got it for bravery." And I don't really care, but I think the killing of that guy was justified because he said, "F you and your Jew dogs." If that doesn't give you the right to bash him on the head with a bat, I don't know what does. I don't know what does.
Repeatedly in the head with a bat.
And that's the end of that. And what I really liked was that, like, again, the characters had real depth to them, especially Aldo the Apache, Hugo Stiglitz, who, Hugo Stiglitz.
He's just that kind of guy that you just want to see.
The Bear Jew.
Beastly.
Yeah. And even Hitler has some depth into him, like, barely, but he does.
And just a quick spoiler right there. He doesn't even want the Nazis to call him a Bear Jew anymore. He's that scared of them. Alright, that's that.
And, yeah, and Hans Lander, who's actually Christoph Waltz, who actually won an Academy Award for his performance, I completely agree.
Amazing.
Yeah. He plays Hans Lander, and I just love the direction that Quentin Tarantino went with the film. And if you agree, post your comments, say what we didn't say in your mind. Tell us what we hit on and what you guys hit on, and what you generally think of our review. And this is
World War II Beast
and Walking Tall 202,
the young reviewers,
signing off.